Sandra Barrington, Executive Director of Sierra Nevada Memorial Hospital Foundation, and welcome to Doc Talks. This is a series where we bring local physicians to you so you can learn a little bit more about their education, their background, their specialty, and maybe a little bit about what the future of healthcare looks like for them in Western Nevada County. And today we have a very special physician with us. We have one of our second-year primary care residents, Dr. Mila DeRome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, welcome to Doc Talks. Prior to, we were just talking about Match Day, which is a very special day for residency programs where we learn who the next 2 residents will be coming into the program. So we'll have 2 new residents starting in July. And right now you're a second-year resident.
Yes.
So you'll go into your 3rd year in July. That's very exciting.
Yeah, last year. It's flying by.
Yeah, it goes by fast. It seems like just yesterday we started the program.
Yeah.
And now we're going to have our first graduates starting in July.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's exciting.
So what made you, what educational background took you, to this place in your career?
Yeah, so I grew up in the Bay Area in California, in Morgan Hill, and then I went to Seattle for college, was up there for 4 years. I came back to Morgan Hill for a couple years. I worked as a medical scribe in the ER. And then I went to medical school in New Mexico at Burrell College of Osteopathic Medicine. So I did the first 2 years in Las Cruces at the southern end of New Mexico, and then I did their one of their rural tracks where I moved to the Four Corners, living in a little town called Gallup. And so I just really already knew that I wanted to do more rural medicine and kind of learn more about it. So that's kind of where that started. So finished up medical school there, and then I matched here at Sierra Nevada.
Well, we're so glad you did. You kind of took a chance on a new program, which is rare. We'd only been around for a couple years, so thank you for taking a chance on us. What was it about primary care that made you choose that specialty over all the other variety there is in medicine?
Yeah, it's a big choice that residents have to make, or that medical students have to make, which specialty to go into. So I was considering emergency medicine, OBGYN, family medicine. I wanted to do something that had a lot of variety. I don't want to do like the same thing every day. But I also realized when I worked in the ER that I craved having the continuity. I wanted to follow up with patients and see how their treatments went and hopefully help them get better, and see them through those different phases of their treatment and things like that. So that kind of ruled out ER for me. And then I was left to debate between like OB and family med. And I really did enjoy OB. I love like the prenatal care, the women's health, delivering babies and all of that. But I found that I didn't really like the surgery aspect. I just don't see myself as a surgeon. And again, I just kind of leaned more towards the clinic side. And so being in a rural setting and doing several different family med rotations there, I was able to see what family medicine can look like in a rural setting. And it's much different than a lot of more urban settings. And I just fell in love with it. Like, you get so much variety because you don't always have the specialists around, and some family docs still deliver babies, and so it wasn't completely closing off that door to me. And so that's how I landed on family med.
Well, wonderful. Yeah, that was actually one change that came about because of the residency program, was some policy changes around family practice doctors being able to deliver at our hospital. So that was kind of a cool unintended consequence, but the ability for residents to do deliveries. Yeah. So what does a typical day look like for you as a resident in clinic or in one of your rotations?
Yeah, so there's such a variety because we still rotate through different specialties, but like this week I'm doing urgent care, so I might go to our clinic at Chappaday in the morning and see patients for a half day, go grab lunch, and then go to urgent care in the afternoon and see patients there before going home. That's like kind of a typical outpatient rotation schedule where we split like our morning and afternoons in different spots. But then when we're on inpatient rotations, we're usually in the hospital more for the whole day. So like for the past month, I was actually doing OB here at Sierra Nevada. And so I'd come in the morning around 7:30 and chat with the nurses, see how the patients are doing, go round on them, talk with the attendings, put in orders, write notes, manage the labors, hopefully get some deliveries.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, wonderful. Well, we have a great family birth center.
Yes, we do.
If you need to do a tour, call me. Has there been, it sounds like maybe it's OB, but one rotation that's been your favorite over another?
Yeah, I think OB is definitely at the top there. This is my first time doing urgent care, actually, because we don't do it in our first year, and then it just kind of got scheduled towards the end of my second year. But I'm really enjoying urgent care so far as well.
Yeah, wonderful. So, they have a great team there at the Dignity Health Urgent Care, so use that if you need it. So you talked a little bit about your experience in rural communities. So was that something you always knew you wanted to choose a rural track for a training program?
So not always. I think it first started kind of between college and med school when I was a scribe. I was chatting with one of my mentors there and asking if he knew of any programs I could volunteer with, because I like to travel, and so I was looking for something that I could do abroad, but also involved with medicine. And he, turns out, I didn't know this, he's the medical director for a medical mission that goes to El Salvador every year.
Oh, wow.
And they were leaving in like 2 weeks. And he's like, do you have a passport? Do you want to come? And I was like, actually, yes, I would love to.
Wonderful.
So I went along on that trip with him, and I was his scribe, and he kind of, showed me the ropes of how it's different working in a rural setting. And it was just so gratifying to help these patients who oftentimes don't have any medical access, and sometimes they're like in their 50s and they've never seen a doctor before. Wow. Yeah, it's just completely different from what we experience here. Sometimes not so far off. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. And so I think that kind of planted the seed for me. And then when I went to medical school and I saw that they had a rural track, I thought that would be a good thing for me to continue to explore.
Wonderful.
And I, again, enjoyed it a lot. And being in the Four Corners is, there's several native reservations there. And so I was able to see the different setups that they have. So one of them in particular was really similar to what we have here at Chappaday, out at Fort Defiance, which is right in between New Mexico and Arizona. And they have everything in-house there. And you wouldn't necessarily expect it because it's this hospital out in the middle of nowhere, but they have primary care and OB and surgery. And,
all within the hospital setting, like one campus.
And they have the pharmacy and the lab, just like we have here. So when I came to interview here for residency and they gave us a tour of Chappaday, I was like, oh, this is one of the things that I really loved about that hospital. And so seeing that in a clinic setting here, I was like, I had seen how much benefit it gave to those patients there, and that drew me to wanting to practice here.
Wonderful. We have a little bit more time, just a short bit. What do you think the future of healthcare might look like for primary care, in your opinion?
Yes, so that's a tricky one. So I'm still kind of just getting into it. I think ideally, having setups like this where everything is in-house would be best for the patients and the doctors, really. It's just less barriers to care, where it's easier for the pharmacy and the lab and the physicians to all work together. It's hard to say if that's actually going to happen in a lot of places or not, but I would love to help make that happen.
Great. Well, that sounds like an ideal situation. Yeah, because we talk a lot about patient navigation and that being a lot of barriers to getting to the next treatment or the next step. So it might reduce some barriers. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And you've been listening to Doc Talks, and you can find us online at supportsierranevada.org or at Nevada County Media. Thank you.